you're like discriminated from that normalness.
Right.
Because the FASD, I didn't know I had it until I was a teenager
Okay.
when my mom told me. Because I started noticing the struggles within it.
Right.
Like my memory was really bad. I couldn't do a lot, like math and science. It was really hard for me, just a lot. And then my mom told me, and that's when I really did feel different. Like before that, I didn't feel as different. I just felt like I was struggling.
Right.
And then I got told I had FASD, and that's when I really started feeling like I was out of the group,
Right.
the normal people, I guess. Yeah.
In a world that feels like it's continuing to divide, where we're putting up walls against anyone different than us, and we avoid conversations because we're so scared of saying the wrong thing. Through this, we've lost our ability to connect and really understand one another. As someone who struggled to come out, I know how isolating it can feel to be defined by a label and misunderstood. Last season, I sat down with incredible people, and in just an hour, I learned so much more about them and how we can truly support one another. The tools we uncovered were powerful, showing how vulnerability and listening can bring us together. There are so many more stories to tell, and I'm excited to dive deeper this season.
I'm Anthony. Not much to tell.
Is there anything like in your life that you find difficult?
My memory
Yeah.
is the worst thing.
Yeah.
It kind of just goes through my head. You tell me one thing, it goes through, I don't remember. 5 minutes later,
Yeah.
that's my biggest struggle.
Right. Would you be open to talking about like going through school and stuff? How was that like?
But that was hard
Yeah.
to do. Yeah, I wasn't really a grade A student.
Right.
And when I started facing struggles in school, I stopped going to school
Yeah.
because I didn't have an interest in it anymore. The teachers were good. The one-on-one help was all right, but I didn't really want the help because I didn't think I needed the help.
Right.
But I did get through school in the end
Yeah.
because of COVID. I just really wasn't interested in schooling at all.
It makes sense because when something like is hard
Yeah,
and your memory, you're like, why do I want to come here?
exactly.
Right? It wouldn't feel like a place that you're
Welcome.
excited to go. Did you feel unwelcome ever with school?
Not really. I made a pretty good friend group in school.
Do you remember any like specific times in school that you went and you just found it really hard, or that a teacher came and allied you, like was helpful to you?
It would have been high school. They had an extracurricular room
Okay.
with a teacher, don't know her name, but she was very nice. And she would come to you in one-on-one. If you needed it, you could leave the class and go there. And she'd do one-on-one work with you
Oh, awesome.
just to help that. That was the best part.
That's a good program to have in place, like to have the fluidity that you can just leave and go when you need, but you don't have to be there,
Yeah.
right? Is super helpful. You said your memory frustrates you. Can you talk about like how does that impact you day to day on how you live?
There's a lot. Like, I'm not too good with cleaning
Right.
because I'll put my mind to like the cleaning part and then I would just totally forget and go do something else.
Right.
Mostly that is the main problem in my life.
How do you find it with jobs and work and
I did hold a job for a good year. Then I lost interest. That's the main thing with the jobs is I lose total interest in them.
yeah.
And then I don't like working because the memory thing is hard.
Yeah.
And with jobs, you need to know what you're doing. And I just don't know.
Right.
And I don't like putting it out there that I have FASD.
Right.
So the like bosses wouldn't really know
Right.
in the end they don't know like why I can't remember things.
Right.
And then I got in trouble and I just quit.
Yeah.
It was just hard to keep jobs.
That makes sense. You talked about not wanting people to know.
Yeah.
What are the main reasons that you don't want people to know?
Just feel different.
Yeah.
Like be seen different than others. But I've kept it from people for a while. I think only 2 of my friends really know that I have it.
Oh wow.
And they didn't discriminate
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Because the series is about labels and labels that we hold, and a lot of our conversations have been around us keeping things to ourselves because we're worried what other people will think, or we're worried that somebody won't be our friend anymore, or we're worried like that we'll lose something that we already have.
Yeah.
Does that happen with you?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
It's different. Like I wouldn't say having FASD is different because I've lived with it my whole life.
Right.
It just feels different.
Right.
As a person, yeah.
How does it feel? Are you able to describe it?
Like you see someone else on the street, they're like normal. And it just, you feel as if you're like discriminated from that normalness.
Right.
Because the FASD, I didn't know I had it until I was a teenager.
Okay.
When my mom told me. Because I started noticing the struggles within it.
Right.
Like my memory was really bad. I couldn't do a lot like math and science. It was really hard for me. Just a lot. And then my mom told me, and that's when I really did feel different. Like before that, I didn't feel as different. I just felt like I was struggling.
Right.
And then I got told I had FASD, and that's when I really started feeling like I was out of the group.
Right.
The normal people, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. And so I think it's such a like part of humans to want to belong.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we're told if we're different, like we're not going to belong in that group.
Yeah.
Did that fear come up for you?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. Did you have any feelings towards having FASD?
I was angry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my mom always told me not to be angry with my birth mom. But to this day, I think I still am.
Yeah.
Pretty angry. I don't know. It just doesn't go away,
Yeah.
the anger. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think too with anger, you're allowed to feel it.
Yeah.
You're allowed to like move through that emotion. And do you have moments where you think about what your life would be like?
If I didn't have it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt it a few times. Like, what could have been different?
Right.
Could I like have a job, be normal, have my license?
Yeah.
Just the normal things. Most of the time I don't really want to think about that.
Yeah.
Kind of sends you into a loop.
The 2 friends that you did tell about having FASD, why did you tell them?
One was my girlfriend.
Okay.
And I didn't tell. My mom told her mom because they had a little meeting.
Okay.
And then she went and she basically said she didn't even notice. She couldn't notice. The other one, I told because we've been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
And he definitely knew I was a little different.
Yeah.
And he told me he had something, so I was like, might as well tell you what I have.
Right. Just created a safe space kind of for it. Did it feel light? Like, did it feel good to be able to tell him?
I was scared
Yeah.
that I would lose him as a friend.
Yeah.
But in the end, I didn't. So it felt, yeah, I guess so it felt better knowing that I said it.
And how did he receive it?
Pretty well.
Yeah. You keep saying when somebody knows that they say, I can't even tell. Is there a fear that they're going to look at you differently?
That's the biggest fear. I don't want to be looked at as if I'm different from others.
Right.
Never have wanted that.
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of fit in with everybody else.
Yeah.
It was my biggest goal.
I think it's a lot of our goals.
Yeah.
Like, I want friends, and because that leads to joy and happiness. And without that, it's tricky.
Dark and gloomy.
Has anybody in your life showed up as an ally, like really supported you?
My mom.
Yeah. And what does she do?
Everything I can ask, really. Like if I have questions about it, she'll do all the research and tell me all about it. And then, yeah, basically all that. She's always there.
She's such an extraordinary human to so many people. What does it mean to you to have your mom be an ally to you?
I don't got words for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do appreciate my mom.
What is kind of the thing she does that means the most to you?
Gives me love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, I feel like that kind of goes back as well to the belonging piece and wanting to fit in.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when we feel like we can belong, we know we can be loved and give ourselves that kind of love.
Yeah.
Do you find being in a relationship, like, are there any obstacles having FASD with a relationship?
The memory is kind of hard. Like you get told to clean something.
Right.
I'll totally look through it. And then later on, she'll be like, why didn't you do this? And I'm like, totally forgot.
Right.
That's my biggest thing. I say I forgot a lot. I'm not an affectionate person.
No.
That's also a big one. She doesn't like that. Yeah.
What are the things that you like about being in a relationship with her?
Feeling like you belong.
Yeah.
Like feeling that love is a different love from your parents.
Right.
It's good to feel happy inside.
If you were to go back and talk to yourself when you were 13, would there be advice that you would give yourself then?
To not lose hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. After I got told I lost, I'd say a lot of my happiness.
Yeah.
For a bit.
What are things that help you to keep that hope?
My family.
Yeah.
Friends, family. Just people that I surround myself with, really.
Yeah. Do you think there would come a day where you would want to tell more people? Yeah.
I usually tell myself not to.
Right.
Just different. Harder to do.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to tell someone at that point. Like, what if they tell me that they don't even know what it is, FASD?
Right.
Just, I don't want to have to explain what it is because I don't even really know what it is.
Right.
Myself. Like, I got told, but as I said, my memory is bad. I just don't really know what it is myself.
Right.
Off by heart.
So that's a big fear, because so then how are you going to explain it to others?
Exactly, yeah.
Right. I think too, like, so many of us hold things that we don't want to share. And then, like, with your one friend, when you shared it, it was like, oh, okay, it's okay.
He didn't ask questions or nothing. What's FASD? He kind of just said, you're still you.
Right.
Like, nothing's really going to change there.
You said that it brought up frustration.
I was angry I wasn't normal. Like, when you get told something like that, you go back to, why do you have it?
Right.
And it's because my parents screwed up, I guess, not really. Weren't thinking about the future.
Right.
And when you get told that, it's frustrating to know that your parents did that to you.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I met my parents later on, well, my dad,
Okay.
and he was still an alcoholic.
Okay.
And that kind of hurt me a little bit.
Yeah.
Mostly just anger. I don't know how to describe or why I was so angry. I think I was angry because I wasn't told as a kid, but I can understand it now.
Right.
Why I wasn't told as a kid. It's kind of frustrating that you live that long not knowing what you have.
Right.
But knowing that you're different and struggling with things.
Right.
And then you get told 13 years later, it's just, my big thing is I'm a very angry person.
Okay.
When I'm angry, I'm angry.
Yeah.
When I was told that, it hurt that was kept from me.
Right.
And then following up with that, I got told that I had other family members still around. So that got me angry too. Just a lot of anger. I don't know about sad, like, yeah, I'm sad that I have it, but it was mostly anger that wasn't my fault that I have it. It was my parents' fault that I have it. But they were also going through things themselves.
Have you met any of the rest of your family? You said that you were told
I
you have other
a
family.
brother and a sister.
Okay.
Very close with them. I have other family, but I don't really go out of the way to talk to them.
Right.
So they're all over the place in Canada. And they're, I guess, half. My brother and sister are full.
Are your brother and sister in Calgary
Yeah.
too? Do they have similar struggles?
I say they have their own struggles.
Yeah.
My brother does not show the struggle as much as like he knows he has it, but he refuses to care that he has it.
Right.
I'd say with FASD, addiction is a big one.
Right.
We all got an addiction really bad because of our parents.
Right.
Brother's kept his job for 12 years. I don't know how he did it.
Wow.
When me and my sister can't even keep a job for that long.
Right. Do you talk to them about it ever?
Barely. I think they choose not to want to know they have it.
Right.
They don't like the fact that they're different too.
Right.
My brother, I just recently talked to him about it. And he's struggling with an addiction.
Okay.
And that's kind of, he brought FASD into it and said it's because of the FASD.
Right.
It's because of our parents, and he's angry right now at our parents.
Yeah.
He blames our mom for it, that he is the way he is, and he could be living a normal life. But our parents screwed up, and then screwed all of us up, and I said it's not really a screw up. We are who we are.
Right. Can I ask, what is your relationship with alcohol?
I used to be, I don't like calling it alcoholic, but all my family said I was pretty bad. I would have to drink at least a bottle a day to keep myself from getting sick. And then it progressed to even worse, and it was 3 bottles a day. And then when I stopped, it's because I got alcohol poisoning really bad. And that, I guess, scared me.
Right.
Eye opener. And then I have a addiction to nicotine as well. Alcohol was I think the worst one, was a struggle to stop.
Right.
Even though when your family's telling you that you're an alcoholic and you need to slow down, it's not that easy to do with the addiction.
Yeah.
Because you don't know you have it as you're doing it.
Right.
I didn't see it as that. I just saw it as having fun.
Yeah.
But it was getting to the point where it wasn't fun. It was drinking by myself in my own house.
Right.
Every day. And it was just a dark downfall of the alcohol path.
Did anyone kind of show up in those circumstances to help? And
My mom.
yeah.
Yeah. It was always my mom.
Always your mom.
Yeah.
That's pretty special. And then after the alcohol poisoning,
It was harder to stop because I kept doing it, knowing I needed to stop. Just to stop the shaking and the throwing up and every of the symptoms. It's hard to stop.
does it worry you about alcohol now, or are you feeling pretty good?
Yeah, I like to stay away from it. It genuinely grosses me out even looking at it. It makes my stomach hurt.
Yeah.
Freaks me out.
What do you think are some assumptions that people have when it comes to FASD?
I had one friend, when I didn't bring him up, but I did tell him, and he went straight to saying that I was a crack baby.
Okay.
Because he didn't do the research. He just assumed that it was crack right away.
Right.
I chose to cut him off because that was not really a good friend thing to do.
Yeah.
And then when we would go to places with the friends, he'd just blurt out things and be like, "You're a crack baby," and this and that. And I was like, I'm not gonna surround myself with someone that's putting negative stuff on me.
Totally.
I think that's the biggest assumption. Nobody ever really does the research for it.
Yeah.
Knowing the alcohol, they just go straight to hard drugs.
Yeah.
Your parents did hard drugs, and that's why you're like the way you are. That's the biggest assumption in people. I don't even want to think about what my parents were doing well. I know alcohol, but I don't want to know anything else.
Part of your fear too of telling more people.
Is the assuming part.
Yeah.
People wouldn't actually look into it.
Yeah.
Because I don't even want to look into it myself.
Right.
I want to know that I'm normal instead of having something. It's my day-to-day thing. I don't even think about it half the time.
Totally.
I just go on with my day as a normal person.
Yeah. It's your life, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Your mom also sent me a list of amazing qualities of people with FASD.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Do you know any of those?
No.
About being like really good with animals,
Yeah.
and kids and older people, being very kind.
It's better to hear that than other things.
Yeah, totally.
Positive about the negatives.
Yeah. I do think a lot of times with the labels, it is those negative assumptions that come with it. Versus if you hear of somebody who has FASD and you're like, oh, caring, empathetic, helpful,
Yeah.
like, sure, watch my pet, right? Like, suddenly there's like a little bit of a twist and spin on it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're hoping by doing this series that people can start seeing labels in a different way.
Yeah. Well, I've been seeing the FASD signs around places.
Right.
Like I go out to eat and you see them on a billboard or something.
Yeah.
On the wall to like help people understand what it is.
Yeah.
Which is nice to see that. And I don't feel so unknown.
Yeah. Just some representation, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. That it's not so secret, and maybe then at some point you can tell more people.
Like the other day I was at a burrito place up in downtown.
Yeah.
And right at the cash register there's the sign and my brother pointed it out saying, "That's what we have."
Yeah.
And we both read it. And the lady went, "Do you guys have FASD?" And we both went, "Yeah." She goes, "Well, I have a book, like a pamphlet
Oh, wow.
that they have to give out to people."
Okay.
And she read it herself. And she told us not to feel different because we aren't different
Yeah.
than any other person. Everybody has their struggles.
Totally.
And I feel like FASD is more of a struggle than I don't know what to call it.
Like an identity, kind
Yeah.
of?
Disease
Yeah.
is what I used to call it.
Okay. What is the reaction you want from people when you tell them you have FASD?
Just act like it's a normal thing
Yeah.
instead of going, "Oh, there's something wrong with you." Rather a normal answer.
Yeah. Would you want them to do research on their own about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I, like I said, I don't even know about it myself.
Is that kind of the reaction too that you
Yeah.
want from people?
You're no different.
Yeah.
You're still the same person I know. Yeah. I just don't want to lose people after telling them what I have.
Yeah.
That would really break me.
I'm in the LGBTQ community and I didn't tell people forever. And the reason I didn't tell people was because I was so worried once they found out that they wouldn't like me anymore.
You'll be discriminated.
Yeah, that they would think I was gross, that I would lose friends. I also have had friends since childhood. I'm like, that suddenly they're going to see me different and not want to be around me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There were like all those fears, and that kept me keeping it a secret for about 15 years.
Mm.
Yeah. But it was so heavy, and I felt like I was like so worried I would be fine. So I can't relate totally, but I can relate to the fear of telling somebody and then the worry that things are going to change.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept thinking too, like, I've worked so hard at this friendship. I know you, you know me. If this one thing's going to change it, it was terrifying.
Yeah. Change. I don't like change.
Yeah.
That's also a big fear.
Yeah.
So if things change, things crumble in my life. I don't know. I feel like I'd be in a depressive phase, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
Been through it once, hated it. That's
Yeah.
what the alcoholism came from,
Right.
was depression. It was kind of the only thing that really helped, made me a bit happy at least.
Right.
And then once you're into that, it's scary hole to go down.
Yeah.
It started when I first moved out on myself. I thought I could do it all. And in high school, that's when I started drinking with my friend. We get like bottles. And it just started as nothing really, getting drunk, doing stupid things.
Yeah.
And then it led into a daily thing. And it's like, I brought people into it and I felt really bad. Like my one sibling, they kept coming to my place to drink. They'd always think they needed to keep up with us.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just kept going, and I was living with my girlfriend. I would throw parties and she would work and I would be drinking. She was like, I'm done getting my stuff and I'm leaving. And then I remember the feeling that I felt depressed right away. I felt like my whole world just fell.
Yeah.
I remember calling my brother, and I don't remember what I said. Apparently I was gonna kill myself. And he called my mom, and I guess I texted my mom too. And they came, I think it was that night. I was blackout drunk in my kitchen with a bottle of pills.
Wow.
I'm kind of happy they showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I woke up not knowing if I took the pills or not. I guess right now it's scaring me even talking about it. It's just, I've never done that.
Yeah.
And then I remember the knocking at the door, and it was the police. And I opened it. It was my mom, my brother. And it kind of relieved me. It was scary because the cops were there, and I don't get eye to eye with them. I don't know why.
Right.
I guess that was just a relief that my mom was there.
Yeah. It's your mom again.
Yeah.
Your mom's showing up.
That was the one time I've been depressed, and it was a long time. It's months of depression, and most of the time I'm not depressed. I know a lot of people that are. I'm not the type to be that, and that was so random and out of line and just sudden. Kind of my whole world felt like it was falling down.
Yeah. It's scary.
It is.
Do you have supports in place too if you feel yourself start kind of spiraling, or?
Once again, it's gonna be my mom. I usually text her and ask her for, like the other month, I thought I needed therapy because I was scared I was going into a depressive episode and didn't know why.
Yeah.
I felt like I needed someone to talk to, and that's not my family.
Yeah.
And I backed out of that. My mom was like, I got you the sport and you didn't do it.
Yeah.
And I said, I feel like I need to be independent with my health. Like I could do it. I stopped drinking. Why can't I stop being sad?
Right.
Overthinking. Since I turned 18, I thought right away I could be independent myself, my own person. And the money thing. There's a big I have a big spending problem.
Right.
Where as soon as it touches my bank account, I like to go and spend it.
Okay.
As soon as and I'll have $0.
Right.
And I always hated that my mom had access to that,
Mm-hmm.
my money, because
Yeah.
I feel like it's my money.
Right.
And she's, I guess, older now. I realize that I should be thankful for that, or I'd be broke.
Right.
And I wouldn't be able to live alone. And it's just frustrating having her always be there. Like if I want therapy, she'll just immediately do it. It's kind of annoying that I can't do it myself. It's always in my head. What am I gonna do when they're not there?
Right.
How am I gonna be myself? How am I gonna be able to pay rent? How am I gonna be able to do this? Not having that skill.
Right.
When my mom's always been doing it my whole life.
Yeah.
That's the biggest fear of my life.
Yeah. It's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a deep thought.
Yeah. Have you found, like, since moving out, have you seen yourself become independent in certain ways that you weren't before?
Yeah, a few things, yeah. Like going out and doing groceries,
Yeah.
being able to do that alone. Like she'll just send me the money and I'll go out and do the groceries.
Yeah.
That feels good to do. What will I do when she passes away and not knowing how to do anything?
Right.
I'll be stuck. And I feel like that's a big downfall. Like my brother and sister I was talking about got it to the point where they're able to go out and be independent. They don't ask their parents for help.
Right.
I feel like I need to ask my parents for help. It's kind of hard. So when I'm with my brother and I need help, I have to be like, I gotta ask my mom.
Right.
He's like, you're an adult. I was like, I know. It's kind of humiliating.
Yeah.
I'm scared of not knowing.
Yeah.
So a lot of my friends say it. What am I gonna do? And then it gets into my head and I don't even know.
Yeah.
Because I won't know how to manage my money. I won't know how to pay rent. This and that. It's scary. I understand I have it, but it'd be nice to learn.
Yeah.
Be able to pay my own rent. Do all the things I need to. Just being taught how to do it.
Right.
It'd be nice.
Do you feel like you're taking kind of steps like to get there?
Very, very slowly.
Yeah. Slow steps.
Time goes fast.
It's true.
Because people get older. It's just,
Life.
that's my biggest thought
Yeah.
for the past 4 years since I've been. I feel like everybody around me is so independent.
Mhm.
They know how to do this. They know how to do that.
Right.
And when I need to do something, it's just zero clue on
Right.
how to do it. I don't even know how to pay my own rent.
Right.
I'd like to be independent, but I feel like I'm not ready to be independent. It's weird.
It's like the motivation and then can
Yeah.
I do it? Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.